In the vibrant city of Houston, Texas, a story unfolded that shook a family to its core and left a community in disbelief. Jenae Gaginier, known to her fans and followers as Miss Mercedes Morr, was a young woman with dreams as big as her personality. Born to parents Mark Gaginier and Jeanette Grover, Jenae's life took a unique path from the very beginning. Her parents had divorced when she was just a child, leading her to divide her time between her father's home in Los Angeles and her mother's residence in Texas. Despite the challenges of her upbringing, Jenae grew into a loving and ambitious woman, driven by a relentless entrepreneurial spirit. From a young age, she had a fascination with money and a flair for business. At the tender age of 12, she turned her father's garage into a hair salon, braiding hair for a cool $60 a pop. Jenae's interests extended beyond hairdressing. She had a keen eye for fashion and modeling. However, after finishing high school, she initially pursued a career as a dental assistant. It didn't take long for her to realize that her true passion lay elsewhere. Jenae decided to follow her dreams, taking a leap of faith and moving to Las Vegas with her boyfriend. In the glittering city of Las Vegas, Jenae became Mercedes Morr, a professional strip club dancer. Her parents may have initially disapproved of her career choice, but they couldn't ignore the financial success she achieved. Dancing her way through bills, Mercedes Morr strategically networked and formed connections with celebrities like Tory Lanez, Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B. With her striking looks and charismatic presence, Mercedes Morr quickly built a massive following on social media, amassing over 2 million followers on Instagram. Major sponsors like Fashion Nova recognized her influence, solidifying her status as a social media influencer. Her popularity soared not only online but also in her beloved hometown of Houston. However, in August 2021, Mercedes Morr vanished from her social media platforms without a trace, causing deep concern for her younger sister, London. This sudden silence was out of character for Jenae, who had always been active and engaging with her followers. London attempted to reach out to her sister through texts and calls, but all attempts went unanswered. London's growing worry led her to contact their father, Mark, who made desperate attempts to reach his daughter. But each call went unanswered, deepening the mystery surrounding Mercedes Morr's disappearance. Concerned for her safety, Mark decided to take matters into his own hands. Mark, accompanied by his girlfriend, embarked on a fateful journey to Jenae's Houston home. What they discovered there would haunt them forever. Jenae's front door was locked, and her car was safely parked in the garage, suggesting that she should have been at home. Mark knocked on her door, but there was no response. Fear gnawed at his heart, and without hesitation, he made the agonizing decision to break down the door. As they entered the house, a chilling silence engulfed them. They made their way to the bottom of the stairs and found Jenae, partially dressed, lifeless, and curled up at the bottom. Shock and grief washed over Mark as he grieved the loss of his beloved daughter. But the horror didn't end there. Upstairs, Mark and his girlfriend discovered a wounded man, Kevin Accordo, lying in Jenae's bed with a knife embedded in him. Kevin was barely clinging to life, making guttural sounds and jerking uncontrollably. The scene was a gruesome tableau of violence, with blood staining every corner of Jenae's house. Disturbingly, Kevin had used Jenae's lipstick to scrawl a desperate message on the walls, revealing a tragic tale of unrequited love and betrayal. It appeared that Kevin had been infatuated with Jenae, stalking her on social media, and even following her OnlyFans account, showering her with money. Somehow, he had managed to uncover her address, leading to the horrifying events that unfolded. An autopsy later revealed the gruesome truth: Jenae had been strangled to death, a victim of Kevin's deadly obsession. The vibrant life of Mercedes Morr had been extinguished, leaving her family and fans heartbroken. Even Drake, who dedicated his album, Certified Lover Boy, to her. Richmond investigators continued to piece together the puzzle, attempting to understand how Kevin had learned Jenae's whereabouts. But the tragic saga of Mercedes Morr serves as a harrowing reminder of the dangers that can lurk behind the screens of social media and the devastating consequences of unchecked obsession.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of City Boys Raw. I saw this video and I had to cover it, man. Her name is Mercedes Morr. I want to start out by saying she's an extremely beautiful woman. This situation, I'm terribly sorry to the family. Condolences to the family. Condolences to whoever else, her friends. You know, this is a terrible tragedy. This should never have happened. With that being said, I think that a lot of females out here that are chasing the bag, chasing the sack, a lot of them, they don't realize what comes with the lifestyle that they lead. You know what I mean? I don't want to in any way victim blame or anything like that, but apparently the guy that murdered her was an obsessed fan who was spending his money on her, and she may or may not have known who he was. There's stories going around that she actually knew who he was and she was leading him on or something like that. I don't know. But I do know that he basically found out where she lived at, went to her place, strangled her to death, you know, and then basically took his own life. You know what I mean? This is horrible. You can see the writing on the door. I wish I never loved her. You know, I was used and all this shit. And I'm gonna say this too, man. All money ain't good money. I'm gonna say it again, y'all. All money is not good money, ladies. Men too. Y'all niggas too, man. All money ain't good money, man. You know what I mean? And just because you look like you're chasing the bag, these are beautiful women. Look at them. Looks like, I mean, just because you're chasing the bag and you think that you're getting money and you think that there's not gonna be anything that comes with it, that's not the case, man. Especially for a lot of girls that you know do OnlyFans, girls that do sex work, that are strippers. You have to protect yourself, man. You have to be living as if you're a president. God, I'm sorry. I saw some cakes. No, but you have to be living. You can't be living a certain way. You can't be living loose. You can't be, you know, posted. Because I guess she actually posted her address by accident, and that's how he came and found her. But you can't be just leading. I'm not sure what the situation was, but you can't. If you are out here leading dudes on, don't be doing that, man. Because some dudes ain't level-headed and equipped to handle that kind of rejection. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not equipped for that. Like I know a lot of women would say, "Well, he's a weirdo. He should have did this." It should be the way it is. Yes, people shouldn't be doing this type of shit. You're right. They shouldn't be doing this type of shit, but they do. You know what I'm saying? Like they do. Weirdo ass dudes that can't get bitches, that can't get pussy, pay for OnlyFans, pay for escorts and all that shit. These dudes are the weirdest of the weird, man. And if you're allowing yourself, I'm sorry, like I know that women, they're just trying to get their money and shit like that, but if you're allowing yourself to take money from just any old person, you're putting yourself at risk. I don't care what's going on. Even as men, we know, like when you go to jail, the old Twinkie, niggas that have been in jail and shit, man, y'all know about the Twinkie, man. You know what I'm saying? You go in your room and there's a Twinkie on your bed, you don't touch that motherfucker, man. Because as soon as you touch it, that means you owe him something now. You want to owe another man something? Fuck that, man. That might be some cheeks he want to take from you, for real. For real. That might be something that he asked you to do that you ain't even equipped to do. He might ask you to go jump some niggas with him in jail. The fact of the matter, the point is that don't take shit from people that you don't know, man. I know that you want to get to the bag. I know you want nice things and all that shit, but like you said, everything that glitters is not gold, man. Everything that glitters is not gold, man. And it sucks that she had to figure this out the hard way. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to also say this too. I got to put a little bit of accountability back on the women here. I'm sorry. But a lot of women's inability to be able to realize that all that glitters ain't gold is probably one of their biggest weaknesses, for real. And men will exploit that weakness. Just like you see her got to take an advantage. Just like this, they exploited that weakness. Your willingness to do what it takes to get to the bag and get to the sack and whatever else you want to call it is a big weakness that you guys have. And this ain't the only OnlyFans girl that's been murdered. This ain't the only stripper that's been followed home or raped or anything that happened. This is not the only time this has happened, man. You guys have to understand, man. Men are dangerous. I don't care how big that you think the man. You might be a small dude, short dude, skinny dude. I'm telling you right now, that man got strength. That's another thing. I don't think that women really understand the level of carnage that men are capable of. You know what I'm saying? Men will go to men, and in previous years and in previous generations, men have fought wars over women, man. Put that in perspective. Put it like that. Millions of men have died over women. Put that in perspective, guys. For real. So I'm sorry, but ladies, you have to, as much as you guys take care of yourself, your looks, your hair to where your body is banging, all that shit. You have to take that same amount of precaution and put it into protection, especially for these single and independent women. You know what I'm saying? That love to say how much they're single and independent. You guys have to fucking treat yourself like you're a real fucking jewel. You know what I'm saying? You got dudes like this out here. He drove from Florida to Texas to get that ass. I'm sorry. Now, if it was me, if I was the parents, I would be suing the community that she lived in. She lived in a gated community, so she should have been protected. But I don't care, man. I'd have had a gun, everything. Like, listen, if you got connections with Drake, you know what I'm saying? They said Drake, Tory Lanez, Meg Thee Stallion, all of them. You should have some kind of security around you. I'm sorry. You should have some kind of security around. Some kind of something that would let you know that, look, there's a motherfucker entering your house right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, you just have to. Either way it goes, man. R.I.P. to her. She's a very gorgeous, very beautiful woman. Gone way too soon, 33 years old. Shit, I'm 34 years old. So, I mean, like, it's just seeing stuff like this makes you realize that how precious life really is, man. R.I.P. She's truly a goddess. I do want to say this as well, though, just before I get to her, because I want to show you guys her parents real quick. Just before I get to that, I want to say this, man. Women like this are smart, okay? Women like this are very smart. And if she was actually using him to get by or get money from him and all that, then and led him on, she bogus for doing that, man. Did she deserve to die for it? No, she didn't. But if she was doing that, she's a smart girl. She knows you don't do shit like that, man. And another thing too, her parents were actually taken aback by her career choices, man. They didn't raise her to be like that. You didn't have to grow up to be a stripper and an OnlyFans girl. Your parents were too fucking military. And I'm gonna also say this too, man. I know plenty of girls that look like her, that are like her, that have that get to the bag mentality, and they don't really care about who they screw over. You know what I'm saying? They just only care about getting to the money, man. And like I said, her parents didn't raise her to be that way. She grew up in a military household. She shouldn't have turned out the way she did, but she did. R.I.P. to the beautiful young lady, man. And condolences to her parents and her family, man. And I truly feel sorry for her. Let's hear from her parents real quick.
And as many people in Houston knew her and loved her, she was as sweet with them as she is with us. She took care of people. She's just a sweetheart. And my baby's gone from a tragic event that didn't have to happen. And it's just dangerous.
Mark, Sunday afternoon, you went to your daughter's apartment, and I mean, as a father, you don't ever prepare yourself for what you found. How are you dealing?
I mean, your first insight when I went into my daughter's apartment and saw her there, anger took over. Well, I'm sorry. Sadness took over real quick. My girlfriend, bless her little heart, at the time ran upstairs, saw the guy still in there. Anger took over. And she's crying hysterically. I'm mad as can be, especially because the guy's still up there. My girlfriend later on asked me, why didn't you cry at first? And I said, I didn't cry because I was so mad and upset that this guy, even though he was committing suicide at the time, was in my daughter's house. My daughter's dead on the floor.
Man, thank y'all for watching, man. We at the end of the video now, man. Like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what y'all think. I really want to hear y'all thoughts, man. Let's go, baby.